position, not as a CEO, but continuing in the same position as a CFO. So they are contributing towards the company, towards the economy, towards the country. And the second point that I would like to, the second thought is that they have to take the risk timely and the risk-based decisions and the relevant insight about the organization and insight-driven analysis. This is something which is a new role which is to be coming up for the CFOs. So from that, this opens up a new focus to the CFOs. CFOs are in the limelight. They are everybody is looking towards CFOs. And CFOs are the ones now who have to stand up. So this is the CFO. Everybody is now looking towards him. CFOs now they have to have the answers. Everybody wants to show, okay, now the CFOs have to stand and they have to say, yes, they have the solutions. And they have to share their insights and solutions into the organizations. And this leads to a fact that CFOs, the role of the CFO is really magnified. We all have learned since morning, we are all learning and understanding the deep insights from the CFOs and all those people. Now, what this point is, the CFOs are the CFOs, and not only the CFOs, the CFOs who want to be and the finance organizations of the CFOs. Are they really there to seize this opportunity? I see this as an opportunity for the CFOs and those who want to be there to make this career, and they are coming to the position. But how they can come to this position, how they can seize this? This is opening the new doors of opportunities for the CFOs. So they have to take the insights about it. Now we go into the multitasking roles of the CFO, and I have the points which I have taken, the key points which were presented in the presentation of Mr. Thomas, the CFO study of IBM 2010. I thought it was quite pertinent and relevant, the four roles, the evolution of the role of the CFO. And I have mentioned a point over there. The role of the CFO is moving from information provider to the decision maker. So this is something which will be, and I will not be going into further details to the scorekeeper or people have said many times the munshi or the traditional words that have been used here. The disciplined operators and the advisors. So key point which will be coming up here, the value integrators. They are the ones who have to take the organization. So I will very quickly go from there onward, and I'm not going to discuss because we have already discussed a lot about these to some topics. Here I would like to stop for a moment for the information providers and the performance interpreters. This is something which people are already doing it. They are the scorekeepers, and then they are taking things to proceed. But now from there, people are looking towards them as an advisor also. They have to advise, and this is something which the CFOs are also doing at the moment. This is something they are analyzing the figures. The financial data are available, and they are presenting different facts. Data is fragmented. Mr. Sattar presented in his very well that there has to be an MIS ERP system. So the CFOs are at the moment collecting data, all these data and available for all the decision makers. But they are not the decision makers. It was said that in the modern Shirazi that bankers want to talk to CEOs. Why? They want to talk to CFOs because there is a perception CFOs are not the key decision makers. So they have to come up to this position as a value integrator, and also this performance optimization they predicted, and also these are the things, okay, we can read it, but I want to share the practical experiences that we have done in Siemens. How a CFO or a to-be CFO can come into this position. 10 years back when I joined Siemens, I was only the second one, and now we have 426 chartered accountants in Siemens, Pakistan. So that has driven, and they are not in the finance side, they are not in the audit side, they are in the real business side. They are the ones who are involved into the day-to-day business operations. They are the ones who are on the front line. They are not on the back benches. They are sitting on the front lines. They are daily involvement into the business decisions. And this is one of the concepts that is being used, the 4I principle. The CFOs are not the backbenchers. They are the ones who have to be listened by the people. And they are the ones who are the key business partner, the strategic partner. And how the CFO who is coming into the CFO position can have the insight about the business. To really advise the board, to really advise the CEO, to help him to make the decisions, he has to have the business insights. And to get the business insight, the CFOs or those who are coming into the CFO's position have to work in the business side. And this is one of the mandatory requirements that we have, that CFO or the person who are the candidate have to work for minimum 3-4 years in the leading role in the business side, so that he understands the business dynamics, issues, things which are coming up, the operational matters which is being said. So, and then he can only talk about the enterprise risk management, the business decision making, and all these things will only come. We talk about the corporate governance. The Code of Corporate Governance, a classic, a very good document, a classic document that every company is mandatory for, at least a listed company. So how are we going to ensure this? That this corporate governance is not only listed in the financial statements. It's not a document which is only there. It has to go down. It has to go down into the roots of the organization. The people have to really practice it, and how to ensure this, that they really understand this. The Code of Corporate Governance, not many people, and also the company like us, the Siemens, which is predominantly an engineering firm, an engineering organization, where we are proud to make the engineering solutions, the engineering organization. So over there, that this is something, the solution which was used to build the people like chartered accountants into the organization, into the area, so that they can instrumental over there, impart the knowledge, the basics of the governance in all the areas. So from there, I will now to move forward to the second topic, or part of the topic was there is the talent, innovations in the talent of the non-financial managers, the technical managers and the technical counterparts. And again, I will refer back to the Yakub presentation, and you said that the example of the club, where we have to make the example that we have to present the right information at the right audience. This is something the key. We cannot have the technical, non-technical presentation, technical and all, and vice versa. We have to have the same level of organization. And this is the very important, raising the financial IQ. I cannot teach the CFO how to write the books account. He knows already. We cannot tell him what is the cash flow. Raising the financial IQ is predominantly raising the complete culture change, the mindset, not only of the CFO or the financial people who are coming up, but the mindset of the people who are there in the business, who are there in the operation side, who are there involved in the day-to-day manufacturing, day-to-day the technical R&D, all these activities who are there. The whole concept has to be there. The people, in the end, it has to be the stakeholders have to have to protect the shareholders' value. They have to have a return for the shareholders. So for that, okay, yes, we can give the trainings, a lot of trainings to the people, a lot of trainings to them, but how to ensure that they really understand, they get into the financial insights. There are some measures that we have taken, and I'm sure these measures are